What's up, guys? Welcome back to another episode of the 458 series. Today we're gonna dive just a little bit deeper in the 458 and we're gonna be taking off the fenders and the side skirts and trying to put back the interior pieces before this car gets ready to go to the frame shop to get its front structure welded on. Last episode, we kind of came to a halt when we didn't have any fishing line or even any floss in the shop to take off the door sills, because believe it or not, that's actually what stopped us from taking these fenders off and the side skirts. So today we're gonna take care of that and spend a couple hours on taking this stuff off because it is a Ferrari. And nonetheless, let's just get started. As we discovered in yesterday's video, to get the front fenders off, you need to get the side skirts off. And to get the side skirts off, you need to take off all of the fender lining in the rear quarter of the car. There's about 10 different Allen key clips that need to come out, so we're gonna start there. To show a reference on how long it took just to expose all this, it took 20 minutes for me to take out all of this hardware. This hardware is literally just to hold in the rear fender liners. That's crazy. So just like we said the other day, I'm gonna be putting this in a baggie, labeling it so we do not mix this hardware up.
A few moments later.
Break it, let me break it to him.
You wanna break it to him?
Break it to him.
You wanna do it.
We just got a call. Our handlers just said, don't take the fenders off. Bad idea, don't do it. We could salvage them, leave them on there. The body shop will do it. Guess what we did? We spent at least 4 hours trying to get these pieces out and investigating how to take the fender off. I even brought fishing line to remove the door jamb, all for nothing. Now we have to take apart the interior, which is even more scary.
Yeah, we've got new instructions.
New instructions. What's the angel? Charlie?
Who?
Yeah, Charlie's Angels.
Charlie's Angels.
Charlie called. That's not it, Chief.
As Calvin stated, the frame shop is going to be doing the welding on the front end of the car. Or I called them, I'm like, yo, how do you want the car prepped to you before you guys get it, so we can expedite the process while it's up there and spend unnecessary time with other people taking stuff off the car. I was like, let us just do it. He was like, actually, the body shop's actually right next door. They're going to come in to see your fenders there and probably bang them out and kind of get them back to the shape that they need to be. So he's like, leave the fenders on, don't leave them separate. And because he said that, all the work that you guys just saw us do, gonna redo all of the fender liners, put all that back in. The one thing that they did say that they did need is all the wrecked interior pieces to be taken out of the car, so that when they get it, they can just drop it off to their inside guy who's gonna do the repair on the interior pieces where the airbags blew up. And we're gonna remove the driver's side seatbelt because that is locked up and needs to get replaced. Let's get to it.
2,000 years later.
All the fender liners have been put back. All of our hardware has been put back. We put back everything for the fenders, the side skirts, put the wheels back on, lowered the car. So now what we're gonna do is actually spend the rest of our day putting back the rest of the interior and removing the broken pieces, which is scary to do in this Ferrari, considering if you break anything, it's just gonna add some Ferrari tax on the rest of this build, which is what we're not trying to do.
Reverse cam, baby.
Whoa, shit. Dude, it really pulls the wheel with that front right wheel all screwed up.
Yeah, that's what you were wondering why I was doing that.
How much room do we want?
That's good.
I want to be able to open up.
That's good. That's good.
It won't let you go past 4,000.
Yeah, I know. It doesn't do that.
Probably not until it gets warm, which if it gets warm, we just damage more stuff, so. So good. It's weird. It, when you put the key on, unless ours is screwed up, does it start like this? No, it's when I put my foot on the brake, it starts. Isn't that weird? Like, watch this. Watch this. Foot on the brake.
Weird.
I don't know if it's supposed to do that.
I don't think it's supposed to do that. I think we have a bridge connection for something or the other.
Isn't that weird? Like, this button does nothing. I don't know. It might just be a Ferrari thing. There might be like Ferrari people in the chat being like, you dumb idiot. Like, that's exactly how it's supposed to be. I don't really know. All right. We're disconnecting the battery because we noticed that the left taillight is shorting somewhere, and even when the car is completely off, it's like staying on and flickering, and we just bought this new battery and we're not trying to drain it. So the next thing that we're gonna do is one, put back all of this interior that we've torn apart. We're gonna be figuring out how to remove this, which I'm a little bit scared about. And then also right here, this is where the window airbag went off, so we're gonna figure out how to get that off. We need to remove the driver's side seat belt because that is locked up. It feels good, but they told me that it might still be screwed up. If this one locked up, this one probably did too. We don't know if there was a passenger in there or not, so we'll probably just do the driver's side for now. We don't really have enough clips to put this back, so we're trying to salvage it with like half the amount of clips for now. Doesn't really hold itself in, does it?
Nah, not really.
Nah. Dude, what's weird is look at this crease in the roof line.
How does something like this happen?
I don't know.
Because
but like there was enough impact, I guess, to like shake the car or flex the car enough where like that popped off and that creased.
Oh, this popped off because of the crash?
It came like that. I mean, that's what I'm assuming.
So what happens is, why these get messed up is, you see this little thing over here on the left? That's an explosive charge. So when you get in an accident, what happens is it detonates, shoves a rod into your mechanism, locking it from allowing it to give way so you don't go into your steering wheel. Part of the airbag system is this seatbelt explosion system. So usually when you get in an accident, you get seatbelts from an accident car, they're not the same anymore. You have to either remove this mechanism completely, the sprocket. The first thing TJ did was you have to pull hard down and see if it reels back in, because usually when it's loose or not spun tightly, it doesn't work. So he did that, but it's clearly the accident that caused this. Oh, surprisingly not tight. I guess you don't really need to tighten something like this, so as long as it's in and
it's only your life, bro.
I know, but it did its job. Clearly, the guy that owned this car did not die. Unless he did. That's why we haven't heard from him.
Day 2.
The car right now is back in its final shape to get on the trailer to get sent off to the frame shop. Where we kind of left off yesterday, we started taking everything apart and then got in contact with the shop that I was going to, and they were like, no, don't do any of that because we actually want the fenders on. We want to see how that lines up the way it currently is. We want some of the interior out and then some of the interior in. So right now it's a bunch of like hodgepodge and we kind of like got mixed up. But I wanted to end today's video off to, one, answer a couple questions, and two, I guess, answer more questions. I've got a lot of comments on Instagram, DMs, and a lot of the comments on these videos. First, I'm gonna dive into the Ferrari questions, and then I'm gonna dive into everything kind of outside of that everyone's like, what the hell is going on? So first things first, everyone lately has been questioning how much money have I spent, or how much money do I think I will be spending on resurrecting the Ferrari? And first things first, I do wanna make it very clear that me answering this and me talking about this in a video, it's not any form of flexing or trying to say of how cool I am or, oh, look how much money I'm spending. It's not that at all. So I want to be very open with you guys. Something that I've done on, I think, literally all of these cars, I like to be open about it, is I like to say how much I did spend to get the car where it is. Mainly because a lot of people out there watching the videos, I feel like to watch the rebuild series and watch us mod certain cars because it's something that you guys want to do eventually yourself. And coming with that stuff does come money. And I like to give a true, authentic, realistic idea of, you know, what's really going on. So that being said, if you didn't know this, you can already look up how much I bought this car for, because it was on Copart. But I bought it for like 100 grand and plus like 2 grand for shipping. So I bought the car for 100,000 itself. The car is a clean title, which makes it a very unique come up, and especially coming from Copart. But the biggest question I have gotten in the comments is, how much are you going to spend? And I have an idea. My guess right now is probably anywhere from 35 to around 45,000, and that's to get it back to stock. That's buying all of the parts, refurbishing interior pieces, paint, getting a new wheel or repairing that wheel. That's like all said and done to get this thing back to its normal state, as in stock. I don't mean modifications like aftermarket coilovers or bags or whatever. 100% stock, My guess is no more than 45. From what I've kind of felt around from people around, that's pretty accurate. I mean, who knows? There's always an opportunity of bad luck and we might find something that we haven't seen yet or whatnot. But that being said, that means I'd be in this car under 150. If you were to find the spec right now and buy it used, it's selling for 5,000 miles, 2015. They're selling for like 230,000, 215, kind of around there. But with the crash history of this car, I wouldn't see anybody buying this car for more than 190-ish. So all that said and done, if I was to flip it, which that's another question, am I gonna sell it? My plan originally was to do this and then sell it, and if that being said, I would have come up like 40,000 on this flip. I mean, who knows? Like, I don't want to sell it. I don't want to sell it, but who knows? We'll see what happens. The next question is, how much have I spent so far in parts? And I actually just made this order with an exotic repair shop, which I will introduce you guys in a couple of videos down the line. But I do want to be open and honest in how much we've spent so far and how much it realistically costs. So, biggest thing we have been talking about is that big front structure that's missing off the car, pretty much like the other half of the car. I got one sourced, and that is called the front frame, the front frame assembly, kind of what we've been calling it. Online right now, you can get those things brand new from Ferrari for about $15,000 or $17,000. I got a used one for $7,000, and it says it comes with the complete front rail, including radiator cages, front bumper bar, and fender/bumper support. Now, what that means is pretty much like the back of the 350, because it's a tubular end, we kind of like built like a skeleton to hold in the bumper, hold it in taillights, all that stuff. So the same thing is going to happen with this car. So what we didn't get into earlier in this video is that underneath these fenders is actually like a frame support, like a bendable arm. You can actually see a piece of it right here that's connected to the fender, and that branches off and kind of creates the front skeleton of the car, which holds in the headlights, it holds in the radiators, holds in all the cooling and stuff, and then on top of that goes all the bumpers and whatnot. So I picked up that for $7,000. I know it sounds like a lot, but that was actually a pretty good come up. Moving on to the impact side of the car, which was the front right, I actually picked up the whole entire suspension components, like beyond the rotor and beyond the lower control arm. I picked up what they call the casting. I picked up a right-hand side suspension casting for $2,000. So without getting into it too much, beyond the wheel and beyond the rotor and beyond the whole brake system, all the suspension components, like the actual like connecting tie rods, all the connection suspension arms, all that stuff, I actually picked up that whole entire thing for $2,000, which was a pretty good come up in my opinion. I got a new lower control arm. I picked up that for $750. That was an expensive piece, but it's a huge piece of material. And as you guys saw, mine is actually cracked off from the frame. Like a piece of the frame is still on the lower control arm. So that thing is beyond repairable, and we picked up a new one. So right now I do have two fenders sourced. Now we're not gonna know if these are repairable until it gets to the frame shop where that's attached to the body shop. They say if they can fix it up, but I have each fender sourced out with the badge and the light for $1,750 each. If I end up going forth with that, it will be about, if my math's correct, about $3,500 for both fenders, and that is not painted white, unfortunately. Those are different colors. So if we did go with those, we'd have to get those repainted again, which would probably end up being around $4,300, $4,500. I have it on order, but I'm not sure if I'm keeping those quite yet. A lot of you guys have actually been sending me parts of this car, so if you're doing digging and stuff and looking around, many thanks for that. I don't have a hood yet, but I've gotten linked a couple that are under $2,000 and are willing to ship, so that's always good. I found a front bumper with all of the bells and whistles, and by that I mean like the motion sensors and stuff, so it gauges how far you are to the wall, parking sensors, whatever you want to call that. I have one right now for $2,200. I have seen some a little bit cheaper, but this bumper is $2,200, but I'm not going to be paying shipping on it because it's already at the yard where this car is going. So in my opinion, I maybe could find it a little bit cheaper if I looked a little bit longer, but we're in a time crunch, and I know that you guys want to see this car on the road just as quick as I am, so I went ahead and picked that up. I haven't found either of the headlight assemblies yet. What I'm really looking for is some that aren't cracked or don't have cracked tabs or anything. I want to find some that are super clean and are in good condition, because the whole front end of this car, like what really stands out in my opinion is those amazing, beautiful headlights. So I'm not trying to find some that need any repairs. So at the moment I haven't found some yet, but I'm thinking I could probably source both headlights for about $2,000, $2,500 in that range for both of them, which isn't really that bad. Beyond all this, I still need to find all of the miscellaneous pieces. We might make like custom hoses for power steering and plumbing and stuff. All that we might just do custom. I don't think we're gonna order like Ferrari parts for that. I still need to find applying a radiator. I still need to do all the interior like trunk and carpeting and all the seals and stuff. So I'm still looking for front clips that are still parting all that stuff out, but it shouldn't be the biggest issue. I think that puts me at, let's see, 9, 10, 13. I'm roughly around 15,000 so far, which isn't that bad. And keep in mind, I am gonna have to pay some money for the guys that are doing the front welding and when it goes on the frame machine. So there's gonna be a couple extra thousand on there so far. But I'm under 20 into it and we're not halfway there, but we've gotten some of the main pieces, which that makes me very happy. All right, now to get to like everything else that everyone's been asking about, like why haven't I been uploading and what's going on with this and that. I simply haven't been uploading that much, and I've really been doing this Ferrari episode series kind of like every other day, because rather than just pushing daily content out, which I know you guys enjoy and I love doing it too, I kind of wanted to do something refreshing and kind of new to me, and I wanted to take our time with the episodes, and I didn't want to just release episodes just to release episodes. I wanted to like fill enough content and have it be like a storyline and then release it. So we've kind of just been taking our time with this, and huge shout out to all you guys watching, because you guys are obviously enjoying it. We're getting a lot of views on the videos and that helps fund all of this stuff that much more. So huge thank you to that. Now, while this car is going off to the frame shop, we will be traveling up there to get some footage of it, and we actually are going to be tackling some of that ourselves, which I'm super stoked about. As this thing gets shipped up there, the Supra has finally got majority of its pieces. So we're gonna start that build series in between this build series, and then we're going to Tokyo Auto Salon in about a week and a half, which will be gone for a week, but I will be daily vlogging that. So if I'm not daily vlogging already, we will be daily vlogging in Tokyo. Something for this car is being debuted at the Tokyo Auto Salon, and I just thought, hey, I have to go check it out for myself. So that's all coming up. I'm seeing all your guys' questions about this car, and some of them I'm not answering for a certain purpose, but I think the main kind of questions that we've been getting so far are, how much do you think you're gonna spend? How much have you spent? Are you gonna keep it? Are you gonna flip it? And to be completely honest, I'm taking this thing step by step, and I don't have all the answers yet, which I think that's what makes this thing really fun. But anyways, I wanted to conclude this episode with me saying thank you for all the support. I hope you guys had a happy holidays. I'm enjoying it here. Kind of got a little bit of a refresher, which is awesome. Now, I saw someone say that you should be like numbering these like episode 1, 2, 3, and 4. I don't know if I'm gonna do that, but I have created a playlist that I have put underneath the uploads tab in the channel. So if you're new to the channel and you want to get caught up on this whole entire 458 series, or you're a returning viewer and you're just like, hey, I want to watch it all over again, I've created a set playlist so you will not watch them out of order, and I think that kind of clears up the whole needing to title them episode 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5, etc. That being said, I will see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button to make sure you are caught up with all the uploads, and I will see you guys in the next one.
And I'm feeling good.